Oh, no scoping, no scoping. Another no scope.
Our offensive to break enemy lines.
Got him with grenade. Got him with the pistol. Yo, how's it going, guys? My name is Bloom, and today we're talking about Delta Force, the new FPS shooter 2024. It's in the open playtest right now. It's made over by Team Jade at Timmy Studio Group, and I have to say, this being my first time playing it, as I never got into access before this one, I have way more positive than negative things to say about this, and as it sits not even fully released, I'm gonna just say it. It's already better than 2042. As we all know, Battlefield, we're just ready for a new game that was in a modern setting, getting the grit and the grime of the fight, and then it just ended up being the complete opposite of what everyone expected. Now this game comes along, and I really think it hits the head on the nail with how they've done everything. There are a couple different game modes you have in this game. Personally, I've been focusing on the one that plays more like the Battlefield style game, as that is my favorite type of game to play, even though I've been taking a break from it ever since the recent one came out. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into what makes this game so great. So for starters, you have all of your different special characters that are their own unique class type, such as infantry, medic, support, and recon, where they'll all have their own gadgets and weapons you can use. For example, if you go infantry, you will have a bunch of assault rifles, SMGs, things like that. Medic, you will also have assault rifles and a lot more SMGs. Support, you get access to some LMGs and some marksman rifles, and then recon has more marksman rifles and sniper rifles. So depending on your playstyle, they do have some of the same guns in the classes, but you're gonna have to pick, hey, if you want to snipe, you're gonna go recon. And I will say that with how they've laid them out, it all makes complete sense to me. The only gripe I have when it comes to the classes are you can't use the med stim in every class, where I know that they're trying to balance the classes and whatnot to where, one is not more OP than the other and they all have their own spot in the battle. However, I do think nowadays you should be able to have the med stim in every class there is. As for me, there's good guns on recon, there's good guns on the support, but you don't get med stims. And while, you do passively heal, you can heal from the ammo crates and things like that. I personally, being more aggressive in these types of games, I want to have a med stim on me. So that's one thing I hope they change when it comes to the classes. I don't think it'll be anything groundbreaking or make one class too OP. It's just a little med stim, so if they add that, that would be awesome. Other than that, I think all the abilities and unique traits to the classes are perfect. So one of the things I really like about this game that makes it different and unique in its own way is the weapons. As you probably saw, there is a good amount of weapons in this game, not complaining at all in that department. All the models and everything look really nice. I love how they sound and whatnot. But what's actually unique in this game about them is if we go to our loadouts here, this is Stinger, the medic class. So you can see here I got a pretty beefy Scar H. It's leveled up really high because the way this game works is you can level up guns by using them. In the matches, you get XP for doing whatever, getting kills and assists with the guns. But you also earn these little, almost like tokens, if you will. I know that's not going to be the exact name, but let's just call it tokens for the example. Basically, you see here, it says my gun's level 65. I'm going to click onto one I don't really use. So this one right here, the AKS, I haven't used this at all. you can see it's level 1, where if I go ahead and go over to modify, if you want some attachments, so let's see here. Let's say I want to get this grip right here, but I need to be level 53 in order to use it. You can actually go ahead and click upgrade to unlock, click upgrade here, and then these are the tokens that we're talking about. You can select all. I don't have any right now, and then that's the easiest way to do it. So select all. It'll tell you, let's say it said it'll be level 55 if you use all the tokens. You can take off tokens if you want it to be less levels and get it to where it's only at the level you need it to be, so you're not wasting any. So I find that really cool. As for example, using the Val by starter, it has a 10-round mag, which is atrocious in an automatic gun. So I put points into that gun off rip to get the 30-rounder, I believe is what it is, or the 45, something like that, to where, you know, it's actually usable at that point, because 10 rounds with the fast fire rate, it goes way too quickly. And when it comes to the attachments themselves, this is what I was talking about that's unique about it. So let's go ahead and click modify. So you can see here I got the scar, you know, I got the mag, the grip, the muzzle, sight, buttstock, whatever. And you're probably thinking, oh, you know, it looks nice, looks cool. But other games, you know, you can customize that too. Well, with this, what you can do is, and yeah, I almost forgot, these are the rail attachments where you can put flashlights and whatnot, but there's actually handguards that have different stats. So this one, you know, will give me more handling. This one will give me more accuracy. And this is the one I already have on for control, which is a recoil. And then this one would be stability. So that's really cool. And when it comes to the attachments, not only does each one have its own stats that it'll put into the gun, you can actually go up here to calibration, and you can fine tune each attachment for what it's going to do. So you can see here, I have this one maxed out up here, which it's giving me less ADS speed. But if I go the opposite way, right? Now you can see here, here's my stats. So I have less control, less ADS move speed, but I have a faster ADS speed and more moving stability. So you can literally fine tune them to what you want the loadout to be for. Like this build right here is specifically for recoil. It's not a fast aim down sight build by any means, but it's a straight laser beam. As you can see, look at the stock here. I'll take a point off so you can kind of see the stats on this, for example. And I'll probably go ahead and make a video on some of the builds I like so far. And, you know, you got loadout. You can go ahead and save it. So you can see I have this one saved as recoil. You have appearance. They got a few skins in the game right now. And then you have progression, which will show you what you've unlocked, what you haven't unlocked when it comes to the gun. And then you can actually go right here where you're in your loadouts on the one you want to do. Click T, and this will take you into the firing range. So in here, you know, you got some dummies at different ranges. So you can go ahead and shoot all these. Just like so. And not only is it just a firing range, if you click tab, you can see your loadout right here. Then you can modify your loadout just like that while you're in the firing range. And just click escape, and then you're back in the range. I find that really good as well. Not having to leave the range, load back into it over and over and over. You can simply just click tab and then click F to modify whatever you're using to go ahead and tune in all these stats. So there actually are vehicles in this game as well, as you know, it makes sense for the type of game that it is. You know, you got some of everything. You got your tanks, you got your LAVs, you got your transports, your heli. There's also some like four-wheelers and stuff too that you can call in while you're in the match. I haven't played around with the vehicles too much, honestly. I've only used the LAV so far. I called it in and someone else actually spawned in and hopped in the driver's seat as I was clicking the button to get in as well. So I didn't get to drive it and use the main gun, but one of the guns you can use as a gunner, there's like a shotgun one, and then there's a minigun, and that thing was ripping. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely felt nice to use, and it was pretty easy to get kills with it. So what are my final thoughts on the game in its current state? Well, like I said earlier, there's definitely way more positive than negatives. In fact, there's not really that many negatives I can even think of that come to mind. I mean, there's the stim, like I mentioned earlier, having that in all the classes, it's not a make or break deal. Rather, they do or don't change that, you know. And really, the only other concern I have right now is there is no hold to ADS. It's only toggled to where if you click your ADS, you click, then your un-ADS has, you know, I'm not used to that, nor are most people. So it's definitely gotten me into situations where it didn't benefit me and I ended up dying from it. But other than those two things, I mean, there's not really any other negatives I can think of. I mean, I was recording and playing in ultra graphics while still getting, you know, awesome FPS. I believe, you know, around like 140 to 160 range is what I was getting on ultra while recording, so I'm not going to complain at all when it comes to that. As far as the gameplay, like the flow of the matches, it seems to all flow pretty good to me. I've only played a handful of games so far, and I haven't noticed anything weird. You don't really have to worry about, you know, people ziplining above you and being on all the buildings 24/7 like in 2042, for example. It's way more, you know, predictable. You can go to peek or go into a fight and have your crosshair and aim, you know, where you would expect someone to be and not get shot from overhead or something like that. As far as the gadgets on the classes, you know, they do have like the gadgets and whatnot that not everyone really wanted in 2042. However, this game does do it differently, and I think the way it's been implemented actually works really well, and I like having the unique classes with their own abilities. None of them seem super OP or anything like that. I mean, sure, as you can see on the screen, you know, some of the enemies, they get highlighted every so often. That's from the bow and arrow. There's a scanner dart on there that reveals enemies' locations. That part, that's a little iffy to me. I've never been someone that liked the wall hack ability in games. Maybe they could reduce the radius of it or how long it's active or something like that. It's not too OP by any means, but it's definitely not something I would say I'm a fan of. And besides that, I mean, that's about it. I definitely would give the game a shot if you haven't played it yet. It's free, so there's no reason not to try it, especially if you like FPS games. There's a lot of action in it. They got a bunch of guns, bunch of things to level, multiple maps to play, and overall it's just been a great experience. I can't wait to see where the game goes in the future, and you know, down the road maybe this will be one of the major titles and it'll be active for a long time. That's what I hope, and it, you know, definitely has a great future ahead of it. So with all that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, as I'm definitely going to be making more content over this game in the future.